Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our channel. We actually have two one news to render. One has to do with the issue of the president being impeached. Senior advocates of Nigerians have started talking. The prominent one have actually given a voice credence to the call. And another one is the issue of agitation. The former president of Nigeria, Olusegun Obasanjo, has finally taken a stand over the issue. But before we go into the news proper, I'd like you to subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button. Beside it, you see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. Well, as of Monday, March 4th, 2021, the presidency, through its senior advisor to the president on media publicity, Femi Adesina, raised an alarm that some disgruntled religious and political leaders are planning to overthrow President Muhammadu Buhari's administration. In view of this trending news, the human rights lawyer Femi Falana said that the president who cannot perform should be impeached. Falana went further to explain. In the first place, the call was totally uncalled for. The government must learn to respect the sensitivity and sensibility of Nigerians. But one can understand for an administration headed by a former military dictator who sacked a democratic elected government. We can understand the fear of the regime. On a very serious note, good public relations management would have dictated to the regime that the statement from the presidency was totally unnecessary, having regard to the fact that the military high command issued a statement on Monday dissociating itself from the call by a lawyer for a military intervention to arrest worsening security situation in the country. That has been the only call. So when the presidency issued a statement that was alleging some religious or national group leaders have concluded arrangement to overthrow the regime, that was rather cheap, irresponsible, and very provocative. The regime must learn to respect Nigerians. We have gone beyond all this. Why are we in this mess? For me, that is the issue that should be addressed. Why are people calling for balkanization of a country? Why are they calling for a regime change? By the way, a regime change does not mean a coup. It can be by impeachment. Once it is crystal clear that an administration can no longer secure the lives and property of the Nigerian people, we can fall back on the Constitution. Section 143 was not inserted in the Constitution for a joke. It is to impeach a president who cannot perform. And of course, that's for Femi Falana. Of course, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo has made his stand very clear over the issue of agitation. Former President of Nigeria, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, on Wednesday warned that Nigeria will slide back into ground dissolution of the country if it does not get it right in 2023. Obasanjo spoke at his penthouse residence within Olusegun Obasanjo Presidential Library (OOPL) in Abeokuta, Ogun State, while playing host to team members of Tea Professional Group, that's TPG, led by Professor Zacchaeus Anga Gundu. He also said the country might require a carrot and stick approach to fight insecurity challenges to a standstill. He disclosed that leaders must ensure that 2023 bet emergence of a new federation in Nigeria, otherwise the country may be sliding into ground dissolution. Olusegun Obasanjo insisted that it requires a carrot and stick approach to fight the security challenges to a standstill, noted that the government must develop means to deal with kidnappers and bandits heavily in place of ransom payment. Some people are still reaching out and hoping that lives can still be saved. But a situation whereby anybody thinks paying ransom is the way out, that person is fully. He's a fully. This is because when you pay ransom, you encourage. But if you are not going to pay ransom, you must have the means to deal heavily with it. You must have the stick to deal with it. Government has always paid ransom. Not only this government, even during Jonathan administration, they paid ransom, but they denied it. Olusegun Obasanjo bemoaned insecurity challenges, insisting that 2023 must mark a watershed for Nigeria. According to him, I do believe that whatever else we do, we have to make it right in the year 2023, a watershed for Nigeria. The year 2023 should give us the beginning of emergence of a new federation, or feeling that the rot continues and then we are going to be sliding back to ground dissolution. God forbid, the former president said. While relying the position of a military friend, Olusegun Obasanjo expressed fears that those beating drums of division in Nigeria don't think about the interests of the minority ethnic groups. And he would say to me, if the Yorubas can stand as a country, if the Igbos can stand as a country, if the Hausas, Fulanis can stand as a country, if you major tribes decide to break up from the country, where do you want the minority ethnic group to stand? That many Nigerians don't know about, unfortunately. Where do we want those minor groups to stand? Wherever they stand now, they are by virtue of Nigeria's present situation a little bit protected. But if Nigeria breaks up and they are in a smaller country, they'll be oppressed. They will always be exterminated. Are we thinking of that? I believe that if we get it right in Nigeria, any leader must look at Nigeria with the prism of the diversity of Nigeria. For as long as you look at Nigeria with the prism of your ethnic group, then you aren't going to anywhere, either your ethnic group or religious group. But is there hope? There's hope, Obasanjo submitted. Presenting the paper earlier, leader of the group, Prof. Anga Gudu, told Obasanjo that blood is flowing in Benue State following killings of people allegedly by Fulanis and bandits. He said people are being maimed in their sleep and in their ancestral land, calling on Obasanjo and other influential Nigerians to rise to the occasion to stem the tide of killings. While alleging skewed security architecture, Gudu said Nigeria seemed to be losing the battle against insecurity. He however demanded a full compensation for victims of killings and destruction in Tiv land, proscription of armed Fulani groups, while land grabbing must stop and all occupied lands must be vacated. Wow, well, lots of things he said, but let's continue with it anyway. Gundes also called for intensified advocacy against home nomadic pastoralism and hosting all nationality summits where issues will be discussed with view to finding lasting solutions. There are different shades of instability in the country. Nigeria is totally bleeding to death. There's even a population of fourth line, which could lead to the Lebanon trap. The patriots must stand together, but if others have to be enslaved before the country can survive, we will prefer as thief people to take our destiny in our hands. This is a strong statement, and that's saying that Chief Olusegun Obasanjo should intervene as a senior and elder statesman over the issue. Well, he made mention of minority group that if eventually Nigeria breaks up, what will be the fate of minority group? That they will become marginalized, at some point exterminated, simply because being in Nigeria have given them shield. What's your take on what the submission of Chief Olusegun Obasanjo has to say about Nigerians' unity and the fact that the minority group could be endangered? And what's your take on what Femi Falana has got to say over the impeachment